Hello, students. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Can someone? Yes. Good morning, everyone. So, can someone remind me where we were last time? Where we ended the session last time around? We were discussing the forms of organization, right?
Yes, sir. The forms of organization.
And which one we have? Which one of those forms we had discussed in the class?
Proprietorship.
Only one sole proprietorship we had discussed. Partnership form we had not discussed.
No, sir.
Okay. So we are a bit slow in this. I'm a bit slow in this section. So I may change the gear, I guess, today. But in case you have questions, obviously you can stop me and ask me questions. Please request if you have a group request everyone to join on time so that, see, because we always have session after this session. And then
No, sir, we don't have.
today you don't have session because last time you guys had.
Yes, last time we had, but today we don't have it.
But the problem is that because I'm sitting in a classroom and the classroom is maybe used by some other faculty for some other course in some other batch, right? So I am supposed to empty this classroom when the class ends. That's the challenge we have. It is not like remedial sessions where we had no sessions in this classroom after my session. That's why I may not be able to take few more minutes. I don't know. Only 30 participants have joined. So please request if you have a group or something to join soon, huh? Please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who is there?
That's first.
Sparsh. Good morning. Good morning, beta. Yes. So nice to hear your voice, beta. So nice to hear.
Sir, what are the guidelines for first assignment?
We'll be sharing with you very soon. Uh, we'll be sharing with you very soon. Just right now, currently, just download the annual reports. That's it, and start reading the annual report. We'll be informing you very soon because I'm sharing the course with another faculty, and there are two other sections. I cannot share the details unless I have a discussion or some guidelines or discussion with some other faculty because all are having the same course and so same outline and everything. So I cannot say unless we have a discussion with some the fellow faculty. Yes, but you are going to. I will not just give you the deadline like tomorrow you have a quiz or something. Don't worry, it won't be like that.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So I think someone has mentioned that in forms of business organization, we discussed the sole proprietorship, and we were that is all right. And we were supposed to start discussing from partnership form, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
See, so selecting the right form because others are joining. 48 students have joined, so others would be joining in a moment. But I would start talking because we may not have time. I may not have time to discuss after 11, 12:20, and I cannot waste this time. There are various forms of business organization, and when you are starting your business, when you are setting up your business, selecting the right form of business is really important, right? Because the same example, right? If I want to make engines or I want to make rockets, I cannot really have a sole proprietorship business because I may not be able to run business, right? And let's say I want to set up a pani puri stand, I cannot really set up a company for that. So selecting the right business organization for your business is really, really important because with each form there are some limitations and there are some benefits, right? We had discussed the sole proprietorship business where the business is owned and controlled by one person. That is the advantage. And but for accounting purpose, of course, both are different entity, but for everything else it is the same entity, so there is no double taxation. Only the owner is paying taxes, business is not paying taxes. We had discussed that, right? And but the problem is there is unlimited liability. The second form is, we had discussed this. I'm just going to the next slide. The second form is partnership firm. And what is partnership firm? When two or more people come together with the same goal and set a business, is called partnership firm. So just like sole proprietorship business, there is no separate legal requirement, right? And the partners can start the business with the oral agreement as well, right? Because it is a partnership form, the risk and rewards are shared between the partners. So that is an advantage. The burden is not only on one individual. And just like individual business or sole proprietorship business, the liability is unlimited and the partners are taxed, not the business, right? The advantage of this partnership form is that the risk, finance, and everything is shared, right? But the limitations are still there. The limitations are that you cannot grow beyond a point. Again, you cannot set up an engine company, rocket engine company, or engine company, right? So this is partnership form. Anyone has any question? Because this is very generic, so I'm not dragging this too much. Fine, everyone is okay with that. Ritu, you are okay? I mean, is this fine, beta? Ritu Rawat? You can say yes, huh?
So, but can we say that partnership is just the sole proprietorship multiplied by the partners?
But why would you like to change? Why would you like to give it a formula? Are you an engineering student? Hello? Are you an engineer? Are you an engineering student, beta? Hello? Yes. Ha, I can hear you now. Please tell me. Are you an engineering having an engineering background? No. So why would you like to apply formulas to everything? Keep it separate. It's a different form. So why are you clubbing it? Say it's a different form. No, I know it may be easier for you to understand, but let us not do that, because in case of sole proprietorship business, the business is run by one entity. So into two, applying multiplying with two does not change or does not give you the answer like you get it in algebra or something. So let us not do that. A partnership firm is run by two or more people, and the risk and rewards are shared. And it may be a oral agreement or written agreement. In case of sole proprietorship business, there is no agreement, right? Because you are running your own business, right? So there is no dispute. Understand? You will never have a fight with yourself unless you have a split personality problem, right? You can never have a fight one with oneself, right? So by nature it is different. So let us not club it. Let us not say that, right? Because there are a lot of complications in partnership also. There is all, because humans don't like generally humans don't like each other, right? Don't like one another, right? So there is always some conflict, some issue. So let us not. Why I am discussing this too much? Because let us not remember this way. That is what I'm trying to say, right? Yes, and the advantages are that a lot of money can be brought into the business because two people are running the business, right? So and income and losses are shared. And sometimes understand why this is different. In case of partnership firm, it is not necessary that all the partners would be bringing capital. Someone may be working and someone may be giving capital. Someone may be general partners and someone with unlimited liability. Someone may be with a limited liability. So again, it's a different form. Let us not club it, right? Let us not club it. That is what I was trying to tell you. The third is limited liability partnership form, and it has advantages of some level of corporation, and it has advantages of individual business. So the benefit is that because it is a limited liability partnership firm, the liability of the partners is limited to what they have invested in the business. That's all. So the business, that means in case business has liability, the money cannot be recovered from their personal assets. In case of sole proprietorship business and partnership business, the money can be recovered by the lenders from the personal assets. But in case of LLP, it is they are protected, right? So that means the business has to be registered. The limited partnership liability partnership has to be registered. There is another thing, right? There is another taxation benefit, that the partnership firm is a separate legal entity because it is a registered. But for tax purpose, the partners and the business are not separate. So the only the partners are taxed. The business is not taxed. Right? So it has benefits of both sole proprietorship business and corporation, or partnership firm business and corporation. Right? I'm not discussing this too much. I hope this is very clear. Hello, everyone is fine with this? Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The most important is corporation. That is always the last stage for any business. You always start your business alone. You always start your business as an individual business. But you always want to set up a company, right? Like Dhirubhai Ambani has done. He may have started the business on his own. Right now, there is a gigantic corporation, right? Right? Yash, you want to ask something? You have muted yourself, Yash.
Hello?
You were asking me something, beta?
No, sir.
Okay, it seemed that from your because you had picked up the hands-free, so I thought that you were talking and you are muted. Fine, fine. So corporation is generally the last stage for setting up the for a growth business, and corporation by nature is a separate legal entity. That means this corporations can enter into a contract, buy and sell properties. In case of partnership firm and sole proprietorship business, uh, the sole proprietor and the partners are buying assets, understand, because the business is not
Excuse me, sir.
separate than them. But in case of corporation,
Excuse me, sir.
please ask me. Yes,
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir. Someone is waiting in the lobby.
I have just allowed, because whenever I see the pop-up, I allow them, of course. Whenever I see the pop-up, I'm allowing. Thank you, beta.
Okay, sir.
So just like in case of corporations can sue someone and corporation can be sued. So see, understand, corporations are not real entities, but still they get privilege like human. So sometimes I say that don't take this remember this like and mention this anywhere. But sometimes I say that that corporations are the one of the biggest scam in the world, because they get all the privileges like humans, but they don't get all the obligations like humans. Because it is not a real person, so you may not be able to take the company because company is run by individuals, company is run by people. So in some cases, those individuals and directors and everyone is protected because they do everything under the name of corporation. So see, there are privileges of running a corporation. In a corporation, there are shareholders and then there are there are managers. So the owners are called shareholders and managers are called agents. So there is a principal agent relationship because the agents, managers are working for the shareholder. So they work for the goals of the shareholders. The liability of corporation is limited by what they have invested in the business or the guarantee given. In case of corporation, there is double taxation. So company also pay taxes and the individuals on the dividend also pay taxes. And it is the best form for growth and expansion. Please, anyone, if anyone has any questions, created by law, only law can dissolve it. Wonderful, wonderful part. I'm not going to discuss this too much because we are not sitting in a business law classroom where we have to define company's law from law's eyes in that much detail. So I'm not going to drag this too much. And because anyways, you may be having other courses where you would learn this, right? This is a new concept. What is one-person company? Can I ask someone?
Sir, may I become a member of that?
Abhinav, please participate. Yes.
Sir, means only that person is the member of the
So
company.
there is only one member and there may be only one director. He himself may be the director. So what is the advantage then sole proprietorship business? In the eyes of law, the company that he has created is a separate legal entity, just like company. So that is the advantage, right? Of course, for getting this benefit, the registration is compulsory, but the liability of the one person who is running the company is limited by what he has invested or guaranteed. And there is taxation flexibility also. What is taxation flexibility? Can someone participate? What is the taxation related flexibility in case of one person company? Can I say the owner and the business are different? Can I say that? Say yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, the
So-
company will be taxed as a individual entity and not as an individual.
No.
That is a person.
Companies also expected to pay 30% tax or 23% tax or whatever tax is applicable to them. So there
Yes,
is
sir,
double
but
tax.
then it won't be taxed as an individual, no, sir. Matlab as a person like you and me. The entity is
No, but
different than the owner.
so when I'm running my own business, Shatakshi, understand, I may be withdrawing some money as dividend from the company. If I
Yes,
pay
sir.
something to myself, it is a dividend, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
the dividend is taxed, or if I'm receiving the dividend at individual level, I may be paying taxes on the dividend, and the company would also have to pay taxes on the income company makes. So there is double
Yes,
taxation
sir.
was there. I will just tell you the advantage. If you could mute yourself, beta. If you please mute yourself. Uh,
Oh.
huh. see, the benefit in case of one person company is that I am the owner of the company. I am only running the business. I can put any amount as my commission or remuneration as an expense to the business. And when I'm putting my remuneration salary as an expense in that company, one person company, I will get tax benefit because the expenses will go up, the income will go down. That means I will reduce the company's tax, or the tax that I have to pay for this business, that will reduce. You see, so see, that is the advantage. So you can play with this and reduce your tax liability. Makes sense, right? So that is the advantage. There are a lot of other advantages. I am not going to discuss this in detail. I may be sharing this
So,
PPT with you, and it will be there in the PPT, but I'm not going to discuss because we are not sitting in a law class or business management class. Yes, please,
so,
Deepika. Deepika, please ask me.
so what is the difference between one person company and sole proprietorship?
Just now I said, in case of sole proprietorship business, the business and the owner are not separate. In accounting, for recording the transaction, that is fine, but in the eyes of laws, other laws, the the person and the company are same. But in case of one person company, the the activities carried out by the business is carried out by the company. So the business and the businessmen are separate, right? Second to that is that because it is a separate legal entity, uh, 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 so when a company is suing someone, not the individual or the person who is running the company is suing someone, right? And there is a tax flexibility advantage. The registration is compulsory for this kind of business or one person company, and the liability is limited. These are all the differences between the sole proprietorship business and one person company. I hope it is satisfying, beta. Hello, is it fine,
Yes,
beta?
sir.
Huh, huh.
Yes, sir.
So there are other advantages also. See, because it is a registered business, it is easy to raise funds from the banks and financial institutions, right? Because it is a registered company, there are more opportunities. I can also get the advantage of SSI, being SSI, and I can raise money. I can also get rated. I can also rate my business. See, my CIBIL score may be very bad personally, but when I'm running the company, my CIBIL score would not affect my business's rating. Understand? That is the advantage. Right? So because it is a one-person company, separate legal entity, my company can also be rated, right? And there are a lot of other benefits that I'm not discussing because we are not sitting in that particular section, right? I have also put the difference between limited liability partnership and partnership firm that you can read upon. We have discussed this, of course. Uh, Now we are discussing something very important: the users of accounting information. And if I recall the definition, sir, as a person, you also have to pay taxes, pay the income tax. Parag, you are asking for one person company or for uh, other form, beta?
Some one person company.
Parag, you are asking for. Parag has a question. Please, Parag.
So as you have mentioned that you will charge the remuneration as you are the only owner. So the expenses will be more and the net income will be less.
So my income would go up. My personal income would go up, beta.
Let's say
But for
you
but for
the
personal income
TPS
tax.
will also be deducted.
But so my company is
And
see, in case of, I will answer because I understood your question. Understand? In case of companies, the tax rate is normally fixed 30%. So doesn't matter how much is your income, right? That is how it is. I'm not discussing this in detail because you will have a course on taxation. So let's say it
okay,
is
sir.
30%. So even if your income is 10 rupees, let's say for the sake of argument, I'm saying you will pay 3 rupees taxes. You can never pay 3 rupees taxes because it is always in multiples of 10. That is another thing. But I'm, for the sake of simplicity, let's say the tax liability is 30 rupees. What I can do is that I can show my remuneration as an expense and I can reduce the company's income. So when I'm showing my salary and remuneration as business expense, my personal income goes up because that is my remuneration. And for personal income tax, there are slabs. So see what I'm doing, I'm manipulating, or I'm fuzzing with numbers just so that I can reduce my liability overall. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because for individual, the
So,
tax rates are not 30%. There are slabs, and if your income is not even exceeding 3 lakh rupees uh, or 2.5 lakh rupees, I may not even have to pay taxes at all, right? So you see, I can play with numbers just to reduce my overall liability, tax liability, right? Yes, please. Fine, beta. Parag, is this fine, Parag?
yes, yes, sir.
Huh. So, see, the definition of financial accounting is it is a systematic process of identifying, measuring, recording, classifying, summarizing financial information so that the users can take the informed decision. That is the idea, right? So my question is, who are the users? I can classify the users into internal users and external users. Let us discuss why these users look at the accounting information. I want a lot of participation for this part, right? Because this is very general. So the first is internal users, and the first internal user is managers. Can someone tell me why managers look at financial accounting information, please?
Sir, can I try?
Please, you can attempt. Yes.
Sir, so as to understand how to, what you say, what is the analyze the current performance and how to, what all decisions are to be taken to in order to reach that targeted level.
So you are saying that because their responsibility is to take decision, and for taking decision you require his information about the business, and that information comes from accounting. That is what you are saying, right, beta?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Anyone else would like to join with something else?
Sir,
Sir, may I?
may I?
Yes. One by one. Both of you, one by one. Yes.
Sir,
Namita, please.
sir, to gain insights from the data.
To get inside. Wonderful. Of course. Very good. Who else was there, please?
Sir, to assess the management, that how effective his own management is.
To assess the management. So to measure your own performance in the business. That is what you are saying, right?
Yes.
To measure your own performance, right? So, so I have one example also, right? See, they require this information for decision making, because based on what has happened in the past, they can plan for the future. And based on what has happened in the past, see, if salary expenses are more compared to the other companies, or what employees are doing, incurring is more than other companies employees are doing, you can start controlling that, and then you can incorporate that in your plan so that you can do better in the future, right? There is another thing. When you are investing in any project or any other business, right? You evaluate the business, and for evaluating the business also you require information, financial information, right? So managers look at this financial information so that they can report this to the stakeholders, outsiders, because that it is their job to prepare financial statements and present this to the outsiders. And second is, they may be monitoring key financial indicators like net profit, gross profit, a lot of other things that I'm not discussing right now. Managers also look at financial information to compare this business with other businesses, and they also evaluate or look at other businesses' performance, because they may be inclined to acquire those other businesses. Acquisition, mergers, and acquisition, I'm saying. And the most important reason is, I can say, I can spend the entire day on this, but the most important thing is they look at financial information sometimes because their salaries are linked with the performance of the business. Very straightforward. Isn't that, doesn't this make sense, beta? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Because their performance, their
Yes,
remuneration,
sir.
their commission and bonus is linked with the performance of the business. They look at financial information. They look at how good they were this year. Look at the example, Polaris Software Labs, right? This is a story of 2008-9, where they got 38% hike in their salary, including the bonus. 11.8 million they got as salary. Why they got that as salary? Because the business was doing well. So CFOs, CEOs, and all this, because all these are agents, understand, all these are people are working for the shareholders. So if you want to make your shareholders happy, do well in your business, and that will reflect in your salary, because they will approve your salary and remuneration in the AGM every year. It is proposed generally, the salaries and everything is proposed, and it is approved only when the businesses are doing well. Right? The second is the employees and trade unions. Can you tell me why employees look at the financial information?
So may
Please.
I? Employees are interested in.
Only one at a time, yes.
Deepika, you go first.
Princey has.
Employees are interested in knowing how well the company is performing for their job securities and income.
So, Deepika, I have one question for you. You all have applied for this MBA program, right? And next year you will be getting a placement from this company, from this institution, right? Before
Yeah.
you decide or join the company, would you be interested in knowing about the company or not?
Yes, sir.
So the first reason is there are three kinds of employee: current employees, past employees, and prospective employees. All would like to look at the financial statements because their bonus, their salary may be linked to it, right? Right. If the company has future and the financial statements show that, right? Uh, if the financial statements suggest that the company has a lot of potential, you would definitely join that company. If I am a current employee, I would like to know about the company. If the company is not doing well, I may start applying at other places, right? Or if the company is doing well, I may ask for a hike in my salary, right? If I'm a past employee, my retirement benefits depends on how businesses are doing, right? So employees and trade unions do look at the financial statements. There is a wonderful example, a story of 1995, where in 1995 the cement industry was not doing so well. So around 2005, what happened? The trade union of this cement industry workers demanded 60,000 per worker from the industry, saying that, see, in the past we did not ask for hike because the industry was not doing well. But since last few years, last 5 years, the industry is doing well. So we are demanding that the company should pay 60,000 per worker, that is 1,000 per month into 12 into 5 years. Company should pay 60,000 per work for the last 5 years, otherwise we'll go to one day nationwide strike. So employees and trade unions always look at the financial information, because why trade unions also look at, because why trade unions are there, because uh, an individual employee may not have a bargaining power, but when you have a trade unions, they get more bargaining power, right? So they obviously they look at the financial information. The next we have is investors. Why investors look at? Please participate, guys, because I'm
So can I?
So, can I?
Nitish, yes.
Yeah.
One
So
by one.
the
Please raise your
investors.
hand in the chat, participants. I can see that in the participants list, and I can ask you one by one. Yes, please raise your hand in the participant list. You move on, beta, please.
Yes, sir. So investors, because as they have invested the money in the company, and they will be getting according to their profits will be according to the company's uh, how company is working.
Hmm, hmm. Okay. So when I say investors, I'm not talking about investors like us. I'm including all kinds of investors. There may be large investors, large who invest in large amounts, like mutual fund companies, like hedge fund companies, or there may be individual retail investors like us. All of them look at the financial information, Abhinav, right, Abhinav? And why all of them look at the financial information? Because they have invested money, and when you're investing money, every penny that you invest for that company is responsible, because they are using your money, and you invest in only those companies which has some which is outperforming the risk they take, right? So why investors look at financial information? Because they want to evaluate their investment. They look at the risk and return. What is return? Return is something they receive for their investment, and risk is the amount of uncertainty for investing in this business, right? Abhinav, are you feeling well, beta? You're getting a lot of you are yawning a lot. Is
Yes,
this
sir. Feeling sleepy, sir, but I'll manage it myself.
you will be focusing in the class, right? Fine. Yes. So what is risk? If I may ask you, Abhinav, just to so that you are suddenly your brain awakes, right? What is risk, beta? If you could participate.
From the investor point of view, the risk is like the amount which you are invested right now. Will
Hmm.
you get the same amount in return, or you will end up being moneyless? Means if you suffer a loss, then you may not get dividend. So,
Everyone, please listen to this argument. This is going to be a wonderful discussion. So let's say I'm investing in one company, Abhinav. Let's say I'm investing in X company,
okay.
and based on the past experience, I believe I can make 50,000 from this company next year, or I may be receiving 10% return next year. Fine. What if I receive 12%? The investment is risky or not? Tell me. Or what if the return is 30%, 30%? Tell me
Sir,
whether my investment is risky or not.
sir, if the return which you get is more than expected return, then the return is worth it.
Okay. Everyone agree on this? Isha, are you Isha, Komal, Ayush, all you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Satakshi, see, there is a notion in finance, because now I'm discussing finance. In finance, if you cannot forecast what are you going to earn next year? Even if you earn more than you expected, it is risky because you could not forecast. Once again, I'm repeating. When I'm investing in a business, let's say I'm expecting 10% is return based on the past experience. Even if the company makes 100% return, it is risky for me because I could not forecast. So in finance, whenever it is more, whenever the returns of the company are more or less than the expected, it is risky for me because I could not forecast. Right? I'll give another vague example. Understand? Let's say all of you are expecting to meet each other in the next 6 months. Fine, due to this COVID, you could not meet each other, and you would like to make wonderful friends, right? I know all of you are good people, all of you are nice students, but we are also, you may be chatting with one another on through WhatsApp or something. That means you have some expectation about that friend. But let's say when you are meeting that person, and let's say you are spending time for learning new things and other things, your perception may change. So your friends that you may have expected may be good or bad, just because that person may be better than what you had thought. That person may not be that good like you thought. But in either case, it is risky because you could not forecast. Makes sense, right? Because you could not know that person, right? And that is what happens in life as well, right? So risk means returns are uncertain, and uncertainty could be on both the sides, higher side or lower side. Please remember this is a foundation of finance. So when you take finance in the coming semesters or terms, remember this: risk is anything which is more or less than expectation, right? So why investors look at this? Because they have investments in businesses, or they may be investing in businesses, right? Look at this example of 2008. The shareholders of two UK-based companies, that is British Petroleum and Royal Bank of Scotland, what they had, and you see those managers were asking for increase in pay when the company was not doing well. Of course, they would not allow. The shareholders would not approve because the companies are not doing well. See, so do follow this financial information. They do understand the financial information. See, individuals may not understand, but there is always information in the market. And normally we say that in finance that there is a herd behavior. So if someone knows something, then information spreads at the speed of light. May not be spreading at the speed of light, but it does spread faster, especially in this internet age, right? So when someone says this company is doing good, it spreads like anything, and that's why the stock price goes up and goes down, right? Because there is sentiment in the market. So investors do look at that, is what I'm saying, right? Third is so there are private equity investors, there are mutual fund investors, there are individual shareholders. All look at financial information, right? And they look at financial information based on what is their strategy also, right? Private equity investors look at the financial information for the purpose of reselling. Other investors look at the financial information for long-term benefits, whether the company has potential or not. If you remember remedial sessions, for Infosys, we say that if someone had invested 1 lakh rupees or 1,000 rupees in Infosys in 1980s or something, they would be millionaires right now, billionaires right now, maybe. I don't know, right? So they are investors. They are not speculators. They are investors. Why lenders look at this financial information? I hope this is not too boring, right? What I'm discussing is not boring, right? Okay. Tell me why lenders also? Yes. Because you have participated. So you raise your hand in the participant list. Please raise your hand. I will ask you later. Sejal, please participate. Sejal Bam, I think. Yes.
Yes, sir. So they look at the information of borrowers to see their credit worthiness.
Okay, but why do you look at the credit worthiness? Because
their ability to pay will define whether to make.
Yes. Wonderful. Sparsh Bindal, please participate. Sparsh.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, please participate.
So, sir, the banks and debenture holders and bond holders see that are we able to pay the interest and the principal on the amount that we took from them, and what is our payment period?
Okay, because Satakshi, please, Satakshi, I want to give everyone a chance, and then Komal will say yes. Satakshi and Komal.
Sir, the banks and other people that are lending the money to a company, they need to know if that money and the principal and the interest, as per said, that if will they be able to repay it back, also they need to form some sort of a calendar basis, that because they need to give money to other people as well. So if their money that is supposed to be repaid at a certain point is not repaid by that time, there is a miscalculation, and it might cost them something more than just that money, and they
Okay,
may
okay.
lose other
Satakshi,
people
fine. I
as
understood,
well.
Satakshi. Because I want to give everyone a chance. Komal, last uh, for this slide. Yes, Komal, please.
Just same to know the financial position of the company so that they can repay their loans or not.
So it is for long-term solvency, right? Now I have a question right now. Let's say you have given money to some reputed company and you have invested in that company as a debenture holder. So you have invested in debentures of the company, right? And let's say suddenly the financial position of the company has deteriorated, or company is not able to repay the interest and loan and everything. What could happen? Tell me. What is the power you have as a lender?
We can sue them for not paying interest and because
Company is
according to
not
the
paying, let's say, principal amount since last 1 year or 2 years, let's say.
so according to the company law, debenture holders are the one. I mean, the company have to pay the fix whether the company is getting loss or not, loss or
No,
not.
but beta, but
Debenture holder.
who is there? Who is there? Who is talking, please?
Sir, Parag.
Parag. But understand, company does not have money to pay, beta. And companies are legal
Can sell
entities,
their
right?
assets, so they can sell their
So
assets.
So
But it is
yes, well
mandatory
cancel
to
said,
pay
their
the
Parag.
assets.
debenture holders.
Yes, wonderful, Parag. They can take the company for liquidation. They can take the company for liquidation. Understand? That's why, right? So they have a lot of powers, right? And lenders are supposed to receive money before the equity shareholders or in preference shareholders in case company is liquidated, right? So that's why lenders
Yes.
also look at financial information, because in case companies are not doing well, the long-term solvency has deteriorated, they can take the company for liquidation or insolvency, right? So of course, someone is typing lenders first, of course, yes. And if the company's ratings, please mute yourself because there is a typing noise coming, please. Okay. Sometimes, hello, please, someone's mic is on. Okay. So in some cases, if the company's financial position is not good, they will also ask for collateral against the asset before they give a loan. So that's why lenders also look at the performance and position of the business. Why security analysts and rating agencies look at financial information? Can someone tell me? Yes. Or let me ask someone. Shatakshi has participated. Let me ask Amrita. Amrita, tell me. Amrita Kumari Shaw, I think. Shaw.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me, beta, why security analysts and rating agencies look at financial information?
I think because if the credit rating is good, they can tell the investors, and the investors can invest their money on that company.
Okay. So I have one line answer for this, right? Isn't that their job? Isn't this their job to judge the companies? Please mute yourself, everyone. Isn't this their job? I think it is their job. It is their job to evaluate the financial performance and position of the companies and suggest their clients. And that is what they do, right? What do these rating agencies do? They look at financial information about the company, and when company is borrowing money, they will rate the company, and based on the rating, the lender would know what should be the interest for this loan they are giving. Because if the rating is poor, they can charge more interest. If the rating is better, they can give the loan at a better interest rate, right? Trust me, for home loan, the interest rate may be constant across banks. It is not, but it may be constant. But for loans for corporation, the interest rate is always different. It depends on the credit of that company, right? So all these agencies look at financial information because it is their job, right? They analyze the financial information, they interpret the financial reports, and then they suggest that to their clients because it is their job. Why suppliers and trade financiers look at financial information? Yes, please, someone participate. Someone raise hand.
So may I?
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, suppliers, just like lenders, suppliers need accounting information to assess the credits of the company before they are offering some good or services to the company on credit.
Suppliers are those who may have provided goods on credit, right? So when you provide goods on credit, you also want to see whether company can pay the money for the goods that they have purchased from us. First reason. Second reason is that when you are a supplier, you want to make sure that your customers are doing well, because in some industries it is difficult to find new customers. It is difficult to find customers buying goods from you in some industries, some industrial products, I'm saying, right? So suppliers also look at, there is a classical example, right? When WorldCom was struggling, and I had used this example in the remedial sessions, when WorldCom was struggling, there was an accounting scandal in 2002, and the company does not exist today, right? So Wipro was also skeptical about the situation, because Wipro was one of the suppliers for certain equipments to the WorldCom, telecommunication equipment. You see, the suppliers also need to look at the financial information, because they are when you want to grow as a business, you want to make sure, or you also want your customers to do well, because your business is dependent on your customers' business, right? Why trade financiers look at financial information? Because they have given money for short term, for working capital. So they will look at the short term liquidity, company's capacity to repay the money within 1 year time, right? So they also look at financial information. Next is customers. Why customers look at, please? Why customers look at financial information? I want more participation from this, because I get a lot of participation from section B, class before you.
To know
Yes.
the current position of the company, a business, to make a judgment
So
about
I have the same.
its future.
So I have the same argument. I have the same argument. When you buy a biscuit or some pen marker or something, do you look at the financial information?
No, sir, but if we buy some electrical appliance, then we should know if the company will be able to provide a service after we
So
buy.
I'm not talking about retail products or products where the cost is very minimal. I'm talking about products and goods which you may be buying, right? Where the value is so much large and you require after sales services.
So to know the brand value.
But knowing the brand value, how does it help to the customer, right?
So it impacts the customer on their buying and purchasing power, because they will think that is this brand is good or not.
So that is why everyone is buying orange laptops.
Sir, so they would
Not
like to
using the
see
name,
whether the
right?
products are at the fair price.
Right. See, there is nothing like fair in this world, especially for product prices. Beta, understand. There is nothing like, if the customers are ready to pay, companies will charge. That is how it is. There is nothing like fair price, right? Because for a fancy laptop, sometimes I'm paying 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, and the same laptop for other operating system is available for 60, 70, 80,000 rupees.
Yes, sir.
And
That's
customers are
what
willing
Apple
to pay.
does.
So,
Sir,
let us not use
there
the
are
company
also
names.
after sales service. So if the customers have to know whether the company will be there in the long run or not to provide the
Wonderful,
service.
wonderful. Because for certain industries and certain goods, you require warranties, you require spares, repairing, and for that spares and repairing and everything, not everyone could provide you services. I will give one example, and this is a live example. I don't remember what is that material called. When you are buying something nowadays, you get a bag which is not plastic, but which seem like a cloth bag, but it is not a cloth bag. That material is called something. I forgot the name. So one of my students.
Nylon?
It is not a nylon also, it is a mixture of multiple chemicals, but fine, that is fine. We all know what is that material, or we understand what is that material, right? So one of my students wanted to set up a business after BBA, completing his BBA, and he had invited quotations, and I mean, he had asked for quotations from China. Now, don't argue with me about China right now, because this is a story before this China thing has been discussed right now. So in the quotation and everything that was sent from China, the seller had mentioned that for using this machine, the engineer will come multiple times in the first year, and for repairing and other things, they will come once in a year for certain years. You get my point, what I'm saying? Because certain machines and certain equipments are specialized machines, not everyone can repair, right? And for that, you require service from that from the supplier, from the seller, and that is why you look at financial information, because that tells you about that business. Makes sense. Yes, it is not totally polyester. It is a combination of both. If I remember, I'll definitely share that with you next class. Right? Government authorities. Why government look at this? Because different government authorities have different jobs, and they collect data for different purposes. Like RBI collect data. Why repo rate has been going down since very long? Because RBI knows that the companies and businesses are not doing well. And how do they know? Because they have this financial information available to them to gather for all the businesses. At least the businesses which are registered, at least for the organized business sector, I'm saying. Right? Of course, India has larger portion of unorganized sectors, but still they collect data. SEBI has a job to do, IRDA has a job to do, TRI has a job to do, MCA has a job to do. And all these authorities collect data because they have a job to do. They collect information so that they can make policies accordingly. Yesterday in Madhya Pradesh, they had announced that they will restrict outsiders to work in their state. How do they know this? Because they're collecting financial information as well as other information. And they see that a lot of people are coming from other states and they are employed there. You see, it's government make policies based on this information. Right? Look at the Reliance Communication example. Now, this is not Jio. This is other company, Anil Ambani's company. Right? You see, how do they know that they had paid? Because they're collecting data. They know all this. Right? And there is an issue around AGR. If you know AGR, what is AGR? Annual gross revenue. There is a controversy between Vodafone and all this telecommunication company with the government. And you would not, I don't know whether you follow this or not, but the entire fight is about the defining AGR. Right? It is not about, so very interesting. We may be discussing someday. We do not have time right now, but please read upon this. Right? The last is public. Does public look at financial information? I never look at for XYZ company, right? When I say public, I'm not talking about Isha, Komal, Ayush, Aditi, Sejal, Sparsh, Shubham, Ritu. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about groups in public. So that may be a political party, that may be a consumer group, that may be a newspaper, environmental protection groups, and so on. Because those groups have different agendas, they collect information. I will give you an example. And this example is from the textbook only. If the IT sector is not doing well in Bangalore, it is going to affect pubs and restaurant business in Bangalore. Trust me. Even because a lot of people are staying there on rent. In fact, one of my friend is working in Infosys. He's staying there. He's from Kerala, but they were settled in Ahmedabad. Right now, he's working in Infosys, and he has rented the premise there because you cannot afford to buy a place in city like Bangalore in the initial years, right? Now, if they are losing the job, those people, those who have invested in premises and giving this for rental, they will lose a lot of income, right? The restaurants would lose income, right? The pubs would lose income, right? You see, the public also follow this. I remember one incident. I'm from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and I remember the time where the Tata Nano plant was coming to Gujarat. And of course, I would not talk too much politics right now in this classroom, but understand everyone was talking about Tata Nano plant coming to Gujarat and close to Ahmedabad in Sanand, where it may not change their life, but everyone was talking about it. Why do you follow this? Because maybe it may be a PR stunt for someone, but it is that information creates job for you. That information gives you an opportunity to invest in that company, right? Because it is setting up a plant in Gujarat. So Tata Motors was maybe doing amazing. So let me invest in Tata Motors, right? Another example, blowout in Deep Horizon. You may be knowing this. If you don't know this, you must have seen the movie and remember this incident, right? So when this British Petroleum Company and all these larger companies were making profit, they were under scrutiny after the blowout because you are not protecting your employees. You are not taking care of everything that you should be doing. Sparsh, you are saying something? Okay. I thought you were saying something. Yes. So
No, sir. I was saying I saw the movie. It was.
The movie was, I would not like to comment about the movie, but the story is that people do follow companies. So that's it for the users of accounting information. I do not want to drag this too much. And of course, students are collecting information, right? You are going to do your research and projects and a lot of things, and you will collect information. You are doing a project right now. You know that, right? So you are also going to collect information. So yes, that's it. Any questions you have for this? The movie is Deep Horizon only, I think. Yes, you can find it. You can Google it later after this session. Yes. So can we go to the next agenda? We have around 15 minutes. Shall we go to the next? No questions, right? Okay, I'm not wasting time. Let me go to the. I will end this here.
Sir,
Yes, please
sir, what kind of a company Flipkart is?
tell me. What kind of
Sir,
company Flipkart is?
I am not sure because it is not listed. So,
It is a private company. That's why. A private company. If it is,
so
it is not listed. That means they have not raised money
hmm.
from the public. It is not listed. That means it is a private company. And that's Walmart has a lot of investment in Flipkart,
But
right?
Walmart came in the picture very late.
Very late. So who was there in the
Before
picture
that
before
also,
them?
I'm not sure, sir.
In fact, when Walmart was going to, I don't know whether I had discussion about this with you or not, but in fact, Amazon has also joined for betting or for investing in this company, right? For the stake, right? And that's another discussion. That's suddenly a strategy class. So I'm not getting into that right now, but we'll discuss when the time comes. Let me share the PPT first, and I'll discuss.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, are there any advantages of having secret partner in
What is
partnership
the
way?
advantage? You tell me. What is the advantage of having a secret partner?
No, I don't know, sir. Other than confidentiality, what are the advantages?
See, secret. So when you mention the word secret partner, what do you mean by secret partner?
More money pooled in.
Means,
Sorry?
matlab, I didn't get you, sir.
More money pooled in the business.
Means you are not bringing him to the public that these partner exists.
So what is the advantage? The advantage could be that it may be a case that that partner is not famous, or that partner or that person has a bad reputation in the markets, and that may not allow you to run your business properly. That could be one reason. Let's say you have raised money from some gunda, right? Tell me.
Okay.
So there could be, depends upon the situation, or maybe that partner does not want to reveal his name. So there is no one answer to this question, because every business, every partnership form is different. So why the name is not in the public, the reason may differ every time, depends upon the situation. I hope it
But
makes
sir,
this
most
makes sense.
probably there will be personal reasons, right?
And there is generally personal reasons, of course. If it is a registered partnership, then the name is anyways there with the authority. A registered,
Exactly. Yeah, that's correct. Okay.
so when you say public, the purpose differs, right? Let's say I donate a lot of money and I invest in a lot of businesses, right? I don't want my name to be revealed that I'm helping this business.
Okay.
That could
No,
be
sir,
one of the
I
reasons.
thought that if there might be any tax purposes or something like that.
No, they are if no one can hide. See, that is illegal.
course.
So I would not I would not comment. It is illegal. So
Yes.
it is illegal for sure. Right?
Got it.
So this is a very important. And if no one is coming to this classroom, I will drag this class by 10-15 minutes, because we are going slow in this section. I'm right compared to the other section. So what is accounting principles? Can someone tell me, and why do we need accounting principles?
May I?
Please.
Sir, these are general guidelines that helps us in doing the process of accounting.
Okay. Anyone else? Please participate.
So can I?
Please.
So accounting principles, I guess these are adopted to ensure that the financial statements, the financial statements are prepared and presented in a smooth manner, so as to make it easily readable to the user.
So let's say Sparsh is preparing the financial statements. Please, everyone, keep yourself on mute. Yash is preparing the financial statements. Aditi is preparing the financial statements. Vaibhav is preparing the financial statements. Isha, Ritu, Rawat. I'm reading all these names from the small box I get. Sparsh, Nimesh, all these are preparing financial statements. There are no rules or guidelines.
Sir, if there are no rules and guidelines for the accounting principle, everybody will make the accounting information according to their own way. There is certain guidelines are required so that everybody has the same accounting way, and there is no difference between profit calculation.
That means the users may not understand that information. The users may not understand, the external users may not understand that information. That is why we require ground rules. That is why we require principles.
sir.
That is why so accounting principles are basically
Sir,
rules, regulations. Yes, please.
Sir, plus for comparing with other firms, we need some principles so that we can easily compare to other firms.
So wonderful. So it is done in an orderly manner, as someone has mentioned. So it is so accounting principles are basically rules, regulations, guidelines, etc., to record the transactions in the books of accounts. Accounting principles source is the gap in a country, right? Accounting principles can be classified into concepts and conventions. Concepts are basically theories, rules, and regulations. Conventions are basically set of common practices used universally for preparing the financial statements. The source of accounting principle comes from gap, and in India, the generally accepted accounting principles are set by ICAI, and now NFRA regulates ICAI. Where all this gap is mentioned, I have put up a link there if you see downwards, right? So in the last row, right, right hand side corner, right? So and so now we are going to discuss these 11 principles. And when we are going to discuss these 11 principles, whenever you are applying that in your business, you keep in mind three things. This is very powerful. Please focus. Relevance, objectivity, also called reliability, and feasibility. So when you are adopting an accounting principle, or when you are applying the accounting principle, all the relevant information should be communicated, should be there in the financial statements first. It should not be based on personal bias. That means the information should be reliable based on some documentary evidence, that is objectivity or reliability. And third, applying this financial principle, this accounting principle, should not create complexity in the business. This there aren't that 12. In some books you will find 15 beta, so that it is fine. I'm going to discuss this 11, and some of them would be absorbed by one another, so don't worry, right? Right. The first concept that I'm discussing right now is very important: money measurement. What is money measurement principle? Yes.
So
Sir,
all
it
the
is a
transactions will be measured in terms of
Okay. A lot of people are participating. I got amazing participant for this accounting principles. I have covered 3, I think, in the last class. So I'm planning to cover 3. Please raise your hand and participate. I want amazing participation. I will start with Sparsh Bitwal, then Komal Dwivedi. Yes, not everyone will get a chance. I'm sorry for that, but please, yes.
So, sir, money, according to money measurement principle, we record only those transactions in our accounting books which are in terms of money. Those economic transactions which are in terms of money.
Wonderful, Sparsh. Now, next turn is Ritika. Please, Ritika.
Yes, sir. Same. All the economic transactions that can be measured in terms of money will be recorded.
Okay, fine. Naveen Saha. Yes.
yes.
Others, please mute yourself. Naveen Saha, please. Naveen, I have. Please unmute yourself, Naveen.
Hello.
Please say.
Okay. Sir, I just wanted to say that money measurement in this, all transactions should be taken in terms of money.
Okay. So all of you have participated. I think I will start talking now. Please mute yourself. There is a lot of background noise is coming. Okay. According to money measurement concept, only those transactions are recorded which could be measured and expressed in terms of money. And second, which you forgot to mention, right? When you are recording the transactions should be reported in a common unit of measurement, that is Indian rupees. That means in a balance sheet, I cannot write I have 1,000 rupees worth of cash. I have $2,000 worth of inventory. I have 3,000 pound worth of something. I cannot have assets or liabilities or expenses and incomes listed in different unit of measurement. Make sense? Make sense? Everything has to be in one common unit, right? So once again, I'm repeating what is money measurement concept is: only those transactions which could be measured and expressed in monetary terms are recorded, and they are recorded or reported in one common unit of measurement in India, that is Indian rupees. Now, let's say it doesn't mean that I may not have an international business. I may have an international business. Let's say I have received $1,000, but when I'm recording that in my books of account, I will have to translate that into Indian rupees when I'm recording it from dollars into rupees. Now, I know that is arbitrary, which rate to take, which exchange rate to take. And that is arbitrary. I know that, right? That we can discuss later. But the idea is that it has to be in one common unit of measurement. That is in India, Indian rupees, right? So in different countries, it is different, right? This concept also says that the transactions are recorded at a value at the time an event had occurred or event was recorded in the books of accounts. What I meant is that if the transaction happened 10 years earlier and the land was purchased 10 years earlier for 10 lakh rupees, in the balance sheet, the value would be 10 lakh rupees. I am assuming that the value of money has not changed in reality. The value of money has changed in reality, but I will not incorporate that in the books of accounts. It will still show me 10 lakh rupees, right? And if you will not incorporate the effect of inflation. Are you following this? This also means that you
Sir,
cannot.
will patent value will come under money measurement?
Patent would be recorded only when you have paid for patent. Understand? When you are designing a patent, you must have incurred money to. You must have incurred money on R&D, research and development, right? So
Yes.
that means, so that money that you have invested is the patent value, beta. Is the patent value. Makes sense? Makes sense, right? So let's say Sarvepalli Samuel, I think is the Samuel. Samuel. Samuel, let's say Samuel is running a business, and I went to his business, delivered a lecture for his employees for motivation and other things, and he believes that this will increase the productivity of all his employees. But he cannot record this if he has not paid me anything. If I have delivered the lecture free of charge, even if it is increasing the productivity, he cannot record it. So sincerity, loyalty, honesty of employees, you cannot record because you don't know how to measure them. Only transactions which has money attached to it, you can record. Please
But
everyone
sometimes
mute yourself.
patent value can be measured. Sometimes patent value can be described in a way.
Described means what, beta? What are you trying to tell me, please?
Sir, if I want to sell my patent, I can have a limited amount. I can have a limited amount to it. I can tag an amount to it, and then I can sell it to anyone.
But so when you are selling it, you are selling it. So when you are selling it, you are receiving that cash. So it is a monetary transaction, isn't it? Understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that you cannot record any amount in accountancy unless there is a proof, there is an evidence, right? So for patent, you are saying when you are selling, it is not there with you. So what's the point of talking about it? It is sold, and when you sell, you receive money. So it is a transaction. It is a financial it is a monetary transaction, right? What I am saying is that you cannot believe that you have the greatest patent in the world. Your brain is the greatest patent in the world, and you want to record it. You cannot do that. You cannot do that because you haven't paid for it. When Steve Jobs was around in Apple, I mean, did Apple show Steve Jobs' brain or his identity in the balance sheet? And you know that had a value, right? That he was an amazing fellow. We all know that. We may not like him in some cases, but we like him for certain things for sure, right? Do we know how I mean, can we really bring that value in the books of accounts? No, you can never do that. I hope this makes sense, right? So this is the what it is. I will again full screen this. Just give me a second because I was navigating with something. So you see, let's say XYZ Limited owns cash, space 1 acre, 21 lakh cash, number of trucks, let's say 6, raw material is 3000 kg. I cannot record this because unless I attach a value to this, I cannot record it because I cannot add all this. 21 lakh cannot be added into 1 crore and 6 trucks, understand? But when I attach the value 21 lakh, 2 crore 80 lakh, and the total value is 4 crore 42 lakh 30,000 rupees, now I can record all this, right? Because I can add all this, right? So please remember, only those transactions and events can be recorded which could be measured and expressed in terms of money, right? Otherwise not, right? The examples I have put, the health of a managing director, the health of Orange, CEO of Orange Incorporation cannot be recorded, understand? Even if you know that productivity or the business may be affected, right? This is the second most powerful principle, I would say, separate entity principle. Now, I may be closing this session in case someone enters into this classroom, understand? So I may not end the session with proper goodbye, I'm saying. But in case no one appears here, I will
I
continue this
request
session.
everyone to
Please
please
mute yourself.
mute.
Please mute
Vaibhav.
yourself.
Sorry.
Please mute yourself. Okay. Yes. So what is separate entity concept, please?
So the business
Can I?
organization for which we are maintaining the reports and finance.
Okay, Komal has participated. Wonderful, Komal. Next, Ritika Atal.
Sir,
Others can mute themselves.
Sir,
Ritika Atal.
yes, sir. Sir, in case of separate entity, the business and the owners are different.
Okay, why do we need this classification? I also want to know that. Naveen Shaha is the next candidate.
If there is a individual and a business, so they both should be considered a separate entity. Like if a transaction was done by an individual, it should not be considered in the financial statement of the business. So it should be kept separate.
Okay, Vaibhav Sharma, please.
sir, it is a concept that record the transaction that are associated with the business, but it is separately recorded from its owner and other businesses.
Okay, okay, very good. Sparsh Bindal, Sparsh has participated, so I will ask Princey first. Princey, Rillon, please.
Sir, separate entity, it means that the organization and owner, they are separate from each other, and it is on this basis that the drawings are recorded and the interest is charged.
So all of you are wonderful. All of you are participating so well. Understand, you are right that the business and the businessmen are separate. There is one more thing that you could not add. If I own 3 businesses, 5 businesses, all my businesses are separate entity. So my X, Y, Z, all these businesses are separate entity, and I am separate entity, right? So there is a line drawn between the business and the businessmen. So if I have 2 businesses, all my businesses are separate, and I am also separate from my business. But you could not mention, you did not mention, why do we need this distinction? Why do we need to do this? Do need to draw a
So can I,
line?
Sir, for liability
can I,
purposes.
sir,
Liability
legal
for
reasons. So can
yes.
I?
Please, please. Satakshi was
So
saying.
because, okay. Sir, it's Dhruvangi. She
Okay,
was
Dhruvangi,
saying.
please participate.
Sir, if there are 2, 3 businesses, so if one business gets insolvent, so the other won't be affected by that if because of the different entity concept.
Good argument. Tax benefit is also good argument. Wonderful. Anything else you want to share, please? Yes.
Sir, to get an overview of asset and liabilities.
Yes, first you are next. Who was talking?
Sir, Prashant.
Please participate.
So as I was saying, there should be separate record of bookkeeping to calculate assets and liabilities in a different way.
Okay, very good argument. Spurs next.
Sir, sometimes, sir, this is necessary.
Okay, okay. All of you are right. Let me end this with this line. Understand? When if I keep on adding my personal expenses in my business as my business expenses, would I ever be able to know how much profit my business is making?
No, sir.
So you draw the line between you and the business means your income, your personal income and your personal expenses should never be recorded as the income of the business and the expenses of the business. Because the idea is to capture the profit for a given period for the business. The moment you combined everything, you would never know how good your business is, whether you are running your business efficiently or not. Another argument, why there is a line between all the businesses. If I'm running 3-4 businesses, understand, and if I do not draw the line, and if I prepare a combined income statement for all the businesses, I would never know, Yash Gupta, which business is profitable and which business is not profitable. Because I have 3 businesses, if I prepare income statement for all the 3 businesses together, I would never know which business is burning my cash, which business is wasting my cash, wasting my resources. Right? So by doing so, by drawing the line, by separating all the business activities, you can identify which business activities are doing better than the others and which activities are not doing so great, and you can take the decision accordingly. You can shut down that activity, you can shut down that business. So there is a line drawn for this decision making. Right? Because what's the point of running a business? The purpose of running the business is to capture, to know the profit, to make money. And if you do not distinguish all these businesses, you could never know how much money each of these businesses are making. So the implication of this is that, let's say I'm a parent company and I have 100 plus subsidiary companies like Sony, let's say. All these 100 companies will record transactions separately for their business, and I will also prepare financial statements together as a consolidated statement. So how I know how I look as a group of businesses and how my individual businesses are doing. That is X, Y, Z, all the businesses. Right? Does this make sense? What I'm saying? Right? So that is why the line is drawn. So this is an example. There are, let's say, two businesses. There is a hairdressing salon and there is a sports store. Both are my businesses. Let's say there is an expense, telephone bill for hairdressing salon. Can I pay the money from sports store? Yes, you can pay. That is your business. You can do whatever you want. But you cannot show the expense of saloon as expense of sports store. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you cannot pay. You can do whatever you want. But when you are calculating the profit, when you are preparing the financial statements, you cannot show one expense of one business, income of one business as income and expense of another business. Make sense? Does this make sense? Right? You can pay from whatever you want, right? You can pay from your personal bank account also. I'm not denying that. There is an accounting entries for that, right? But I'm saying that you cannot show that as your business expense. Personal expenses cannot be shown as business expense, right? And there is an example. No one has come yet, so I'm going on with the sessions because I'm behind in this session. I hope, please do not mind this because it is for bringing everyone at the same. And also, just so that I do not forget the examples that I have given in the other section. Otherwise, you will be missing out something, right? And Solomon versus Solomon is the company's wonderful classical case. We all know that, wonderful, and that has a lot of implications in accounting as well as businesses, of course. Wonderful, Spursh, right? So there is a company called Qantas in Australia. It is an airline company. It has multiple subsidiary companies. My focus is on Jet Connect. I will not discuss too much about this details about all these companies because that is not necessary. So just a second. Yes. So this company, this Jet Connect is doing 50 services a week between New Zealand and Australia. And this Jet Connect is a New Zealand-based subsidiary. That means the business is registered in New Zealand. I hope everyone is following this, right? Wonderful classical case, right? Now, for Qantas, for this subsidiary, it has two choices. Or for Jet Connect business, it has two choices. Either it can hire an Australian pilot, or it can hire a New Zealander or New Zealand-based pilot. Does not matter which one he hires, because if the Qantas is hiring for Jet Connect, he becomes the employee of Jet Connect, and the New Zealand laws are applied to those employees because the business is registered in New Zealand. I hope you are following what I'm saying, right? Because the business is registered in New Zealand, this Jet Connect, all these pilots, does not matter what is their nationality, they are legally employed in New Zealand, even if they are Australian. That is what I'm saying. I hope all of you agree upon this till this point. You are able to follow what I'm saying? Say, nod your face with yes. I can see your faces. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So now see, this is an amazing case. Trust me, and I had an amazing discussion on this in the last section. What is the game? All this game. Understand this game. For the Jet Connect pilots, Qantas is paying 40% less salary than the Australian-based company, that is Qantas. So if the employee is hired under Jet Connect business, he is getting 40% less salary even if they are doing the same task. You see the controversy now, right? So what happened then? As I mentioned, does not matter what is the nationality. They are New Zealand-based employees, New Zealand employees. So the laws of New Zealand labor laws are applied on them, and they are getting 40% less salary. That is the information till date. What happened? The pilots union took Qantas to the court because they are doing the same work. Why they are not paid the same salary? That is the argument, right? Why they are not paid the same salary where they are doing the same work? That is the argument of the pilots union, and that is why we need union, because unions get better bargaining power than individual employees, right? Now see what happened. Because union is saying that they are same entity, so why the wages are different? The Qantas is saying that, see, even if it is our subsidiary company, it is a New Zealand-based subsidiary company. Vaibhav, are you there? Vaibhav?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Sir, there was some network issue. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, I hope you are there because the quizzes would come very soon. So please stay focused in
No,
the
no, no,
classroom. I
no.
would
Yes,
request
sir.
all.
I'm active. I'm active, sir.
Yeah, yes. So there are two companies. There is Australian company Qantas and there is Jet Connect, New Zealand-based company, right? So Qantas is saying that see, Qantas and Jet Connect are separate companies. That means we can pay whatever we want to the Jet Connect company, right? So now I want your opinion. Which side you will take? Which one is likely to win the case? Dimple, can I ask you? Dimple Bhojwani, please.
Yes, sir. So can,
Which side you will take, Qantas or Jet Connect?
sir, I think I will go with Jet Connect because equality of pay is something which will keep them.
Wonderful one. Let me ask someone else. Abhinav, please. 1102 last 4 digits. Abhinav. Abhinav, please. You all are expected to be there and participate when I ask you, right? This may affect your attendance. You know that, right? Tushar. Yes.
The chat box that he has some problem with the mic.
Yes, I saw that. Yes. Tushar, please. Which side you will take? Because someone was very emotional and very ethical about things, right? When she mentioned Dimple, I think, and she mentioned that she will take the side of. I think Union is likely to win. What do you say, Tushar?
Sir, I think union is right because uh, they should.
So you are saying they should be getting the same salary, and Union is
Yes,
right. That is what you are saying, right,
yes, sir.
Tushar?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
okay with that. Let me ask someone else now. Amrita, 1106.
Yes, sir.
Which side you will take, beta?
Sir, I think I will go with Qantas.
Qantas. So,
Sir.
see, all of you are going to be managers, right? And I like you are ethical, you are emotional, and you take care of the employees. I like that because that means you are going to take care of your employees also. But this is the story. I'm revealing more information, and I would like to know your opinion after this information, right? Uh, the information suggests that Jet Connect pilots only fly Qantas planes. Jet Connect does not have its own planes. The planes have the Qantas logo on them. All the pilots and everyone is wearing Qantas uniforms only. And Jet Connect pilots are trained by Qantas. More information. More information is Jet Connect does not even have a website. Jet Connect only has one bank account, that is to receive money from Qantas so that they can pay the wages to the Jet Connect pilots. That's it. Now your opinion is changing or not?
Yes, sir.
What is your opinion? Because all of you said Jet Connect. Most of you said Jet Connect. At least those who I had asked, right? So this is very ironical, right? You all are business management student, right? And I am also teaching in family business entrepreneurship program. They were saying that the union should lose and the Qantas is right. And all of you, I should not say all of you, I should say at least to those who had asked, are suggesting that union is right. Let us see what has happened. You are missing out one concept, entity concept that we are discussing. If the business is registered in New Zealand, how does it matter what they are paying? Are you getting what I'm saying, Vaibhav? Sparsh, Sejal, Satakshi? Are you getting what I'm saying? It does not.
Can you
See, what is separate entity concept? All the businesses are separate, or the Jet Connect and Qantas is separate. And if Jet Connect is there in New Zealand, that Jet Connect company is supposed to follow the labor laws of New Zealand. Are you agree with me or not? Do you agree with me? Yes, of course you agree with me, right? So don't you think that all these businesses are separate? Qantas and Jet Connect both are separate. And when both the businesses are separate, all the entities are separate, the Jet Connect can pay whatever they want. And you see the implications of this. Just a silly, simple concept is saving 40% salary. This case is so simple and yet so powerful. Just because of this single argument that the court had, you can see the judgment here, right? That it is a New Zealand-based registered company. The head office and management is based in Auckland, so they are supposed to follow the laws, labor laws existing in New Zealand. And if they're complying with the laws in New Zealand, they can pay whatever they want. And the union cannot demand the same salary because both are not. They cannot say that there is no equality because the businesses are separate. The divisions, the companies are separate. When the companies are separate, they can pay whatever they want, right? Samuel, you want to ask me something, Samuel? You have to unmute yourself.
Sir, I was asking, was it the fault of Jet Connect on their part because they didn't have any separate website or functioning bank account other than the one they were using?
All that does not matter. The only thing which matters right now is their case would never be strong because it is a separate entity. The moment it is a separate entity, the Qantas can get away with this. That is the single most powerful argument that the both are different entities. All these are fine, that having a different bank account. See, they can have 100 bank accounts or they can have 0 bank accounts. How does it matter? How does it matter? Tell me. How does it matter? As long as they are paying taxes in New Zealand, as long as they are complying with all the laws in New Zealand, they are New Zealand-based company. Right? Like Microsoft is having a subsidiary company in India, that's an Indian company, right? Because it is registered in India. The moment it is registered in India, it becomes an Indian company. That subsidiary company is an Indian company, and they are supposed to follow Indian laws, not US-based laws, and they cannot argue upon being equality or everything. I hope you follow this. I hope you are learning something new from this example, right? Yes.
Sir,
And
sir,
anyone?
if
Yes.
the sir, if the Jet Connect company was also Australian-based company rather than it was not in New Zealand and all in Australia itself, then would have been labor law be able to get their wages?
Maybe I will not discuss because I am not running that company and I do not have all the information. But maybe.
No, but sir,
maybe.
but they are based in Australia. It is a part of the Qantas company.
Yes, so you are right.
And
See, I cannot make a bold because you are talking about a hypothetical situation, and when you are talking about hypothetical situation, the information is missing. A lot of information is missing. So of course you are right. You are not wrong. Of course, then in that case they have better bargaining power.
Sir, but if
They
Jet
have a stronger
Connect
case.
Sir, but if Jet Connect was based in Australia, then also they both are different entities, right?
Right. So that is what I'm saying. You are missing out the details, right? We do not know the details. So yes, so that is why I'm saying that we do not know all the details about this case. So even if it was wonderful argument, even if it is an Australian-based company, see, but in that case they were talking about the labor law. So I will not get into labor laws because I do not know the labor laws in Australia. So that's why I did not give my judgment, and I cannot give judgments. The courts give judgment, right? So let us. But
So what about the LIC and Escort and Beyond case? Like they weren't given a separate legal entity, if I am not wrong. I haven't studied till yet. I haven't researched till yet, but there was a case.
You read more on this and come back to me next time. Would you be able to do this next time, beta? Who is this?
Yes, sir.
What is your name, beta?
Sir, Vaibhav Sharma.
Vaibhav Sharma, can we discuss this next time, beta? Wonderful. We can discuss this, of course.
Oh,
right?
sure, sir.
Yes. So I hope you understood this case. I hope you. I will not share this in the PPT that I'm going to share with you. So please, you can Google this on your own, right? I will not share this in the PPT. That is how it is. So yes, of course, the company won the case, of course, right? Because of applying entity concept, entity principle. This also I have discussed. Going concern principle. What is going concern principle? Can someone tell me? I know a lot of your faces are suggesting that you are not happy that I'm taking more time. I hope you do not hate me for this. Yes.
So it is a principle that company will continue the life cycle of the company is unlimited.
Sir, it's.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
So let us do one thing because a lot of students are, I think, not active that much. So it seems that they it is more for them for today's session. So I hope you learned something new today. We'll end the session now, but you have a homework to do. You have to read all the accounting principles. You have to come prepared with all the accounting principles. Right?
Okay, sir.
Then only we will have a good discussion. Right?
Sure, sir.
Accounting concepts and principles. Do not just say yes. Please come prepared, and I would be asking you questions anytime. Just stay there. Thank you so much. Have a good day. I'm so sorry for taking more
Sir,
time, but
thank
that
you,
I
sir.
needed that.
No
I needed
problem,
that.
sir.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem at all, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
I'm ending the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good day, sir.
Thank you, beta. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, beta.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, beta. If anyone has question, I can stay back for 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'll.
Sir,
Yes, I'm there. I'm there. I'm staying. Yes, don't worry. I'm staying. Yes.
Sir, actually, I had mic issue and I replied to your question in the private chat.
I know. I saw the message. Don't worry. I saw the message. Don't worry. Yes. Yes, Komal, please ask me, beta.
So can we say that now Jet Connect is not a separate entity because it has, can we say it is in partnership with Quantas?
Partnership firm is a different form of organization.
So
And
because they
partnership-
are using everything of Quantas, their logo, their salaries, and their.
So what, beta? So what, beta? If Sony company has a subsidiary company, aren't they going to use the logo of Sony parent company, beta? They can use, right? They can use anything they want. So they may have a separate logo. They may not have a separate logo. See, Sony is mainly known for electronics and everything, but they are running more than. I'm always taking Sony as example. Of course, it is personally my favorite brand. It used to be my favorite brand. Even today, it is my favorite brand. But second to that is they have more than 100 companies, and in a lot of companies they may be using the same logo, right? How does it matter, beta? Right? Because it is their own company, they can use. I'll give you another example, right? Sony Ericsson. So Sony Ericsson was a different unit altogether. We know that, right? But then Ericsson was purchased. The portion of Ericsson was purchased by Sony, and then it became a different unit altogether, different company altogether, or it was absorbed in Sony, right? But when Sony Ericsson is using a particular technology of Sony, they will mention that they will use the logo. Why would they do that? Because it is their company only. They can do that, right? If Sony is have no issue, Sony Ericsson can use that logo. I hope it makes sense. It is satisfying, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's do not say it's a partnership form, because partnership is a different form and company is a different form. Companies are registered and separate legal entity. So they become real by law. They become reality by law. Understand? That's why companies are the most amazing a form of organization. And sometimes I say that companies are one of the biggest scams in the world, because they get all the privileges like human, but they do not get all the obligations. I mean, don't take this words and mention this somewhere, but that is for the understanding that companies sometimes I say they get all the privileges like humans are getting, but they do not get all the obligations because they are not real. I hope this makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
There is
Sir,
a wonderful
so,
documentary on YouTube, corporations. If you could find that, please watch that. Yes.
So they will have legal that what we say
Entity,
legal
yeah,
right.
legal entity.
No, sir. That legal forms and associations, what we say. I'm not getting
Fine. So they are legally
agreement,
different.
legal agreement.
They
So,
are
sir,
they are legally registered. Of course, companies can enter into agreements. In case of partnership, from the partners are entering into agreements. Understand? In case of
so
companies,
in single entity, the legal agreement is different. But since Quantas are
in single sole
managing with
proprietorship business, beta, the sole proprietor and the business are same. For accounting purpose, they may be different, but for accounting, they are same. Sorry, for other than accounting, they are same. So when the business enters into a contract, it is an agreement with the individual, not with the business, because it is his business. In case of partnership, also the partners are getting into a contract, not the partnership firm, right? But in case of companies, even when company is not real, companies enter into contracts because company gets that power from the law, right? Yes.
okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, beta. Satakshi?
Sir, I wanted to ask that even though it is legal, that it's a separate, different entity, and what they did was legal, it was somewhat not ethical. So, could they be held for some sort of repercussion on ethical grounds, not on the legal grounds?
What is the ethical ground you have for this case? Tell me.
Sir, क्योंकि they were using most of the resources from Qantas itself.
What is the ethical part? You're talking about the ethical part is that they are paying
So the
less salary.
salary one, yes,
But
sir.
understand, let's say let me take the example of this education sector, right? In some institutions, the faculties are getting UGC pay. In some institutions, the faculties are getting less than UGC pay. Can you say that they're unethical? Can you take them to the court? No, because at the end of the day, it is the agreement between the employees and the institution. So if the employees has agreed upon receiving whatever they are paying, you cannot argue upon that. So you can never argue. See, ethical and unethical has no room in accounting or business. Understand? Everything comes from law. Everything comes from legal agreement. That's it.
Yes, sir. So, sir, since the legality is fine with, so
They can pay 40% less. Yes, they can get away with this. Yes, and
legally
that
it's
was the whole
right.
purpose of that was the whole purpose of creating this subsidiary. You are missing the
Yes,
point.
sir.
It did not just happen. They are not that dumb that the money just came into their shoulders. Understand? Or
Yes,
it
sir.
was
Yes,
their
sir. I got
strategy,
that
and they
point.
were.
It was just.
No, of
Yes, sir.
course.
I got all that, and I was just a point that was going in my head. I understood the example and why they did it. It was that was the sole purpose of making the separate entity was to save the cost.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Nisarg, you have a question, beta. Manmohan Singh, I think. So
No, sir, I don't have.
Manmohan Singh. So we have Manmohan Singh is in our classroom. Wonderful to know. I mean, I'm a big fan of Manmohan Singh. Good to know. Can you show me your face, beta, Manmohan Singh?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. I hope you did not. It was not a joke. It was genuine, right? I'm a fan of Big Manmohan Singh. But nice to. I mean, nice name you have. Wonderful. Krishna is there. Krishna,
Thank you,
can I
sir.
see you, beta? Navin Saha, Nisarg. Okay, they are not there, I think.
Yes, sir.
Nisarg is there. Wonderful, wonderful. Krishna and Navin Saha. Navin Saha was there in the classroom. I'm just checking that they did not keep their account on and they were doing some other things. I'm just checking that because you never know when the class is getting over. Fine. Navin Saha is there. Okay. Krishna is okay. They are not there right now. But do you have class after this? No.
No, sir. Today we
No.
don't.
Fine, fine. I hope you are. So this is now I'm asking personal questions. Now, are you enjoying these sessions? Are you learning something new?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Yes, sir.
तो class में है ना?
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, I'm an engineer, so I don't have any background of finance, so I'm enjoying it.
आपको मजा आ रहा है ना अकाउंटेंसी तो चलो मतलब नेक्स्ट ईयर बहुत सारे अकाउंटिंग के कोर्स भर जाएंगे मतलब आप सब फिनेंस अकाउंटिंग लोगे ठीक है वंडरफुल टू नो राइट आई विल एंड द मीटिंग नाउ इट वाज रियली नाइस चैटिंग विथ यू ऑल यस यस
सर अकाउंटेंसी में और क्या ध्यान रखना चाहिए मतलब इंडिविजुअली
क्लास में करवाए ना व्हाटएवर वी आर डूइंग इन द क्लासरूम जस्ट मेक श्योर दैट यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग नोट्स आपको नोट्स बनाना सीखना पड़ेगा बेटा
मतलब एडिशनल दैट्स आई एम आस्किंग
सॉरी बेटा
एडिशनली व्हाट कैन आई डू नोट्स मैं बना रहा हूँ क्लास में ध्यान दे रहा
और टेक्स्ट बुक में पढ़ते जाइए जो आपको आउटलाइन मिलेगा ना तो उसमें टॉपिक वाइज आपको आउटलाइन में चैप्टर लिखा होगा तो वो चैप्टर पढ़ना चालू कर देना और आपको जब भी डाउट है यू कैन ऑलवेज मेल मी आई विल हेल्प यू फॉर श्योर बेटा इनफैक्ट आई हैव रिसीव्ड मेल्स सॉरी
टेक्स्ट बुक कौन सी यूज करनी है
टेक्स्ट बुक आपको टेक्स्ट बुक का क्या अरेंजमेंट है इस बार मुझे पता नहीं अभी तक तो मैं कमेंट नहीं करूंगा बट आई हैव प्रिस्क्राइब्ड वन टेक्स्ट बुक नारायण स्वामी बट आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट यू शुड बाय दैट ऑन योर ओन आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट आई एम गिविंग आई एम आल्सो नॉट सेइंग दैट
PDF
you will I cannot share the PDF. I don't have PDF first of all and I cannot share the PDF because it is illegal to share PDF first of all and Nirma
We can arrange the PDF, sir.
It is not there. I know that also. But Narayan Swami is the textbook name. Narayan Swami, R. Narayan Swami. He is a faculty of IIM Bangalore. Accounting. The name of the book is Accounting or Financial Accounting, a Managerial Perspective. But I'm not saying that you should buy this. I'm not saying that, right? And you will receive the communication about because and you 99% is you will get the ebook very soon because it is in the process.
Sir, because we got Moodle ID, so we should get it probably very soon, no?
So yes, Moodle ID you got. So now I will also be able to upload things on Moodle. Wonderful. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I end the meeting now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye. मिलते हैं.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I will end the meeting now.
Yes, sir.